Hey guys, what's up? Bailey here. I have not posted on this channel in so long, and I'm very sorry about that. It's just been a very busy few months, very lack of idea few months, and just a whole bunch of stuff been going on. But I'm very excited because I'm going to have a lot of new content out very soon. I'm not going to say exactly when because I can't guarantee that right now, but I have some very good challenge ideas coming up, some hopeful future collabs coming up, and hopefully if my channel actually decides to take off this year, some skits coming out later on this year. So this week is really just going to be another experience video like my last one with my MagCon experience, but this week I'm going to be talking about a tour and some people that some of you guys may not know. So my friend Brenna and I had obsessed over Round 2 crew and Dylan for like months and months, saying, oh my gosh, like they need to come back to Toronto, like I would be the first one to buy tickets if they came back sometime soon. So about mid-January comes around, is about January like 15th, 20th, they announced that they were going to be going on tour, and they announced the dates, and thank goodness Toronto was one of the dates. Just to say, it was Round 2 crew who announced the tour, and then they announced that Dylan and Alyssa would be joining them for their first headlining tour. So the tour was called Woah Tour, and the tickets went on sale later that week, and we had bought platinum tickets. So let's get into what actually happened at the concert. So we showed up there pretty early in the morning, all of us. We got let in about 3:30, and we were in this huge room where people were like pushing up to the front to try to get into the meet and greet first. But thank God we had met, we made friends with the security guard, and he let me, Alex, Cheyenne, Brenna, and Michelle in as our first group of 5. So we decided that Alex was going to go first for the meet and greet, but she decided last minute that she didn't want to go first anymore. So I got stuck going first. I was the first person in of the day, first meet and greeter of the Toronto Woah Tour, and I was really nervous actually. So the first person we had up was Sebastian. I had met him several times before at other events, and basically it was pretty quick. I think I kind of rushed myself more than the security rushed me because I was really nervous. So basically I walked up to Sebastian and he said, oh my gosh, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you in forever. So I'm kind of guessing he knows who I am by now since I've met him like 10-15 times. And we took our picture, and I look absolutely horrendous in it. I don't think I've ever taken one nice picture out of all the times I've met Sebastian and actually liked my picture. So I would show you the pictures, but I look absolutely terrible. So then next we had Zach, and I had never heard of Zach before until Round 2 crew had announced that he was joining them on every date of the tour. So I kind of followed him on Twitter, didn't really not care much about him, but I didn't really look him up or anything like that. I went and met him, and he basically, it was the same thing that happened with Seb, but he was like, hey beautiful, like how are you? We took our picture, and it was such a cute pose, and I wish that I turned my flash on off and I did not look like absolute trash in the picture, because it was really cute. But yeah, he was super nice. Probably like one of the most down-to-earth people I've ever met. So nice, and he, not to mention he's super talented as well. So then next was the person I was most nervous on meeting, Dylan. Everybody who knows me knows that I love Dylan Holland, love his voice. He's an amazing guy, super nice as well. Cares so much about his fans, and just an all-around great guy. So basically I walked up to him and I was shaking, one, mostly because I was cold, and two, because I was really freaking nervous. And he was so nice about it. He smiled so big and he hugged me so tight, and he's like, hey baby, how are you? I'm like, I'm good, how are you? And he's like, I'm good. And I kind of got like tongue twisted and I couldn't really say anything. He's like smiling away at me and like kind of expecting me to say something, and I didn't know what to say. But I was like, yeah, like I was here last time. And he's like, oh my gosh, yeah, I sang happy birthday to you. You were the birthday girl here last time. And I was like, yeah, like you remember me? Like, I don't know. When a celebrity remembers meeting you and they say it to you and they can tell you your experience you had with them, it just kind of warms your heart a little because you're like, wow, like they meet so many people and they actually remember meeting me. Like, that's amazing. So, like my Zach and Seth picture, my actual picture with Dylan didn't turn out very well, but here's the picture of me and him hugging. So after that, I said bye to Dylan, and he's like, oh, I'll see you during the hangout. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I totally forgot about the hangout. So I walk up to Round 2 crew next, and I had my black and white flannel on, and Pape's like, oh my gosh, like I love your flannel. I'm like, thank you. And he's like, you and Dylan are like matching, you guys could be dating. And Dylan's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, because Dylan had the black and white flannel on too, as you saw in the last picture. So, I talked to Pape for a minute, then I walked over to Chase and we hugged, and it was really, really cute. We got a really good picture of us hugging. And then he held my hand and he's like, oh my gosh, are you so cold? And by this time we've been inside for about 30 minutes. My hands were so red, like probably like as red as this bag. And I had like gloves on and my hands were in my coat and my hands were still so red. And I was like, well, yeah, like I've been outside since 6 a.m. And he's like, oh my goodness, like you guys are so insane. Like, can't believe you came that early. And we thought that it was going to be more people showing up earlier, but instead people actually waited till about 10-15 minutes before we got let in to actually show up. So like all my other pictures, I absolutely hated my formal picture with Round 2 crew. I got the cute picture of me and Chase hugging, and then I got this picture with Pape. And that was about it for the formal meet and greet. I went and I stood at the stage, waited for my friends to come, and then about a half an hour later, the informal or the hangout started. So the day before the tickets went on sale, Round 2 crew did a Google Hangout with Alyssa and Dylan, and they were just answering some questions that anybody had about the tour. So, somebody asked Dylan if he would bring somebody on stage to sing Be My Baby, and he said that he may do it at a few stops. So after hearing that, I went out and I tweeted a tweet, and it said it would mean the world to me if Dylan Holland sang to me at the Woah Tour Toronto, hashtag Dylan Sing to Bayleigh, with a picture of me and him from the last show. So the tweet had received like 150 favorites, 330 retweets, 150 favorites, somewhere around there. And I didn't think Dylan had seen it. He hadn't really tweeted anything, hadn't acknowledged that he's seen it. So my friend Alex is like, I'm gonna go show him the tweet. And I was like, oh my gosh, like don't do it, like I'm so nervous. So she's like, just don't come up with me. So she goes up and she talks to him during the hangout, and me and Cheyenne kind of stayed back because I didn't want to be over there while she was talking to him about it. Kind of didn't want him to feel like he had to be like, okay, like now I have to bring her on stage because she's standing right here while her friend's talking about it. So then after Alex came over to me and she basically told me what he said, and I guess she was like hounding him, being like, Bayleigh like really deserves this, like whatever, showed him the tweet, and he said that he was going to try his hardest, but he had to see what he could do because he had already had his set list all planned out. So after she told me that, I didn't want to go up to Dylan right away and talk to him about it because I was really, really nervous. So instead we went and we saw Zach and we took some selfies. And then we talked to him for a few minutes, and then we actually went over to Pape. We got a squad pic with him and a few other random girls that we didn't know. And then we were kind of by ourselves with Pape, and we got him to say, I love you, bitch, I ain't ever gonna stop loving you, bitch. And then we took some selfies with him. Here's my pictures. And after Pape, we went over to Chase because I still was not ready to go see Dylan yet. So we go over to Chase and I take my picture with him. Just kind of like a quick conversation because there's only about 10-15 minutes left in the hangout. So then, here's my pictures here. Then after that, Cheyenne, Alex, and Michelle were all like, okay, like you have to go see Dylan now, it's now or never. So we walk over and this girl is kind of like, we were next to go up. And this girl comes in and she just kind of goes up to Dylan, and I just kind of was like, okay, I didn't say anything. Usually I'm one of those people who will say something, but if the person who I'm meeting is there, I won't because I don't want to seem rude. So I waited for her to finish, then Michelle tapped him on the shoulder, pushed me like over to him, and I'm like, hi Dylan, and he's like, hi sweetie, and then he started playing with my hair, and he's like, so I saw your tweet, and I was like, he's like playing with my hair, and it was really, really cute, and he's like, unfortunately I can't make a change to my set list. And I was like, that's like, it's okay, and I thought that was it. This is the end of this conversation. I'm gonna take my pictures, and then I'm gonna go back to the front of the stage and watch the show. No, he says to me, but if it's okay with you, I want to sing to you right now. And I was like, yeah, that's okay with me. So instead of explaining to you guys what happened or whatever, I'm gonna let you guys watch it. It's like a minute long clip. So here's Dylan singing to me.
Hey, are you out? Yeah.
Okay. I love you, Dylan. We're ready.
Oh wait, shit.
So again, my camera stopped recording and died. The charger wasn't working, so I decided just to film the end of the video here inside. So they did the silver meet and greet, and then the acoustic went in, and then we watched the show, and I'm gonna put a few clips of what they sang here.
I'll tell you why. So honey now. Take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of a thousand stars.
So then after that, the show was over. Unfortunately, it's time to go home. The show was amazing, and I highly encourage if round 2 crew Dylan, Alyssa, or Zach come to your city. Even if you just get a general admission ticket, I highly suggest going. The show is always so hype. The crowd is amazing, and they put on an amazing performance.